here's a simple rule that I just go by. You're always going to use the exterior sum adds up to 360, except when you don't know the number of angles. That's the only time that you're going to use the interior sum. So always use exterior sum adds to 360 for every question, except when you don't know the number of sides. All right, so for every question to do with interior sums, interior angles, exterior sums, exterior angles, always use exterior sum adds up to 360, except when you don't know the number of sides. That's the only time that you can't use this one, that you use the interior. So when you don't know the number of sides, you're going to use the interior. Use interior sum. Theory. Interior sum theory. All right, so we're going to take a look at some questions. Okay, so we're always going to use the exterior sum. Unless we don't know the number of sides, then we're going to use the interior sum. All right, so let's take a look at the first one. All right, number one, how many diagonals can be drawn from one vertex of a dodecagon? Most of these questions require you just to know your vocabulary. Remember, how many sides is a polygon that's called a dodecagon? It is 12 sides. All right, so when they ask you how many diagonals can be drawn, remember, it's the number of sides that it is, and then we have to subtract what to get the number of diagonals? You have to subtract 2. So that's the number of diagonals, or the number of triangles is going to be 10. Okay? So all of these questions just need you to know, you have to know your definitions. You have to know what they're talking about. All right, what is the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a nonagon? Okay, nonagon. How many sides is a nonagon? 9. All right, 9 sides. Now let's look at what the questions ask. What is the sum? That means you're going to add all of them together of the interior angles. All right. Now remember what I said. You're always going to use we're going to always start from the exterior to find anything, except if we don't know the number of sides. Do we know the number of sides? Yes, we know that it's 9 sides. So we're going to start from the exterior. So I'm always going to draw like a little shape like this, just to kind of give you a rough idea. Okay. And what we're going to do is we know we're going to extend the line here. All right. You don't have to extend all the lines. I just need one. And it's just really to give you a visual. All right, we're going to extend the line here. Now, if it's a nonagon, I know that it has 9 sides. Remember, all the exterior angles always add up to what? 360. So if it adds up to 360, all right, if I divide that by 9, I'm going to get the measure of each exterior angle. So 360 divided by 9 is equal to 40. All right, so each of these outside angles are 40 degrees. So that's 40, etc. All right, now what I want to know is the sum of the interior. So the sum of the interior, if this is 40, if the outside is 40, what is the inside? Because notice again, it's always on a what? A straight line. So if the outside is 40, the inside has to be 140. So one of the insides is 140. Again, are they asking you for just one? No, they're asking you for the sum. So because they're asking you for the sum, you have to add up all the 140s. Well, how many 140s are there? There are 9, because there are 9 angles. So to find the sum, we're going to do 140 times 9. And we're going to get 1260. All right. Is this the only way to do it? No, I'm just trying to make it a little bit less confusing. You could still use, when we did interior angles, you could still use that. If it's a nonagon, how many triangles is it going to be? It's going to be 7, because it's always 2 less. And then you do 7 times 180, because each triangle is 180. And you're going to get 1260. The only reason I'm using the exterior is because it's just easy to remember. Just use it all the time, except when you don't know the number of sides. That's the only reason. Also, I don't expect you to remember that it's always going to be minus 2 sides and then multiply by 180. But I do expect you to remember that all exterior angles add up to 360, because it makes that circle. Okay. All right, next question. What is the measure of each interior angle of a regular octagon? So again, we have to know what an octagon is. Well, what is an octagon? How many sides is an octagon? 8 sides. So we're dealing with a shape with 8 sides. Okay, regular, what does the word regular mean? Regular means all the angles and all the sides are equal. Okay, interior angle, so we want the measure of each. This time they're not asking for the sum, they're just asking for each. So again, remember, because I know sides, I'm always going to use the exterior. You don't have to, but that's how I'm going to do it. All right, so exterior, so I'm always going to draw like a little, shape or whatever. Exterior. All right, to find one of the exteriors, because they all add up to 360 to make a circle, I simply do 360 divided by the number of angles, which is the number of sides, which is 8. All right, so 360 divided by 8 is 45. So each angle on the outside is 45. If it's 45 on the outside, what is it on the inside? It is just simply 180 minus 45, which is 135. So the inside is 135. Okay, now because they said each, that's where they want me to stop. They want me to find what the angle on the inside is, so it's 135. If they had asked me for the sum, I would have had to do 135 times the 8, because there are 8 of 135s. All right, so each is 135, and because it's regular, it's saying all of these are equal. So that's why I know that each of them are 135. All right. Next question, number 4. Each exterior angle of a regular polygon measures 150. Again, I always draw a picture. So, and it doesn't matter what your picture looks like. It's just to give me an idea so I can see my straight line. Each interior angle, so the inside angle is 150. So this one is 150. And all of them are really 150, but I'm just going to draw it from one. What special polygon is this figure? Now remember, you always start from the outside unless you don't know the number of sides. So you see, the thing is, these guys are asking me how many sides is this shape. I don't know what it is, but how many sides is it? Because I don't know, I can't start from the exterior, but I can get there. So if the inside is 150, what's the outside? Well, that has to be what? 30, right? Now remember, I always used to do 360 divided by the number of sides, and that would give me the 30. So 360 divided by the 30 has to give me the number of sides. So 360 divided by 30 equals 12. So this shape has 12 sides, because if I do 360 divided by 12, I'll get the outside angle of 30. So this one is 12 sides. So if it's 12 sides, is it a hexagon, octagon, decagon, dodecagon, or a triangle? Well, again, you just have to know your definitions. It's a dodecagon, it's 12 sides. Okay. Next question. What is the measure of a regular octagon? Exterior, each exterior. So it's not the sum, so I'm not adding all of them together. I just want to know one. Octagon, again, how many sides? 8 sides. All right, so I'll start with my picture. All right, each outside. So I want to know what this one is. Well, all the outsides always add up to 360. So if I do 360 divided by the number of sides, I'm going to get what the outside is. So 360 divided by 8 equals 45. So each one of these is equal to 45. And that's all they want me to know. Each exterior angle is 45 degrees. All right, last question. Each exterior angle is 36. So again, let's draw my little picture. Each exterior is 36. Okay, what is the name of the polygon? Okay, so again, we don't know the sides. So remember, because we don't know the sides, we're going to have to kind of work backwards. If the outside is 36, remember, all of them add up to 360. So how many 36s are going to go into 360? 360 divided by 36. 360 divided by 36 is 10. This has 10 sides, and I can check it. If it had 10 sides, what would each of these measure be? Remember, if it had 10 sides, you divide it by 10, and each of them will be 36. So it has 10 sides. So 10 sides, and again, you just have to know your definitions. Hexagon has how many? 6, octagon 8, decagon 10, dodecagon 12, triangle 3. So your final answer would be C. So you see what I always do is draw a shape, and I work from outside to inside or inside to outside, but I'm always using that 360. The only time that I don't use the 360 is obviously that I don't know the number of sides. But even on those questions that I don't know the number of sides like this, I can get how many sides it is by the information they give me. If they give me the outside, I can get what it is. If they give me the inside, like in number 4, I can find the outside so that I can figure out what it is. So remember, always use the exterior sum adds up to 360, except when you don't know the number of sides, then you can use the interior sum theory, which we all know how to do.